Hello everybody, today's video is going to be a little bit different. Last night at about 12:30 in the morning, a tornado came through Nashville, Tennessee, the city that I live in. We're okay, we're safe, we're fine, but it was a pretty scary experience. Basically, this isn't confirmed quite yet, they're still doing surveys, but it is believed that it formed in the northwest area and started going through North Nashville and Germantown into East Nashville, 5 Points, and then into Mount Juliet, and on, reaching speeds of over 135 miles per hour, which is insane. Like I said, we're okay. What happened was, we woke up to sirens. They say if you can hear sirens, you should get to shelter. So I, of course, checked my phone first and made sure that it was an actual issue. I noticed that the tornado was forming really close to where we live, so we grabbed all the animals. It was amazing. They were all super willing to go into the closet, a room to which they had never been ushered in before. So that was super lucky. So we're all in the closet. It passed us pretty fast, but we stayed probably until 1:15 in the morning, when we knew we would be a little bit safer and there wasn't a risk of another tornado happening. And then we were fortunate enough to be able to go to bed completely safe. That was not the case for so many of our neighbors. There are about 40 buildings down right now, and I think I mentioned this, 19 people confirmed dead, which is absolutely terrible. People's businesses are ruined, people's lives are crazy right now, and yeah. So it's times like these, Mr. Rogers always says, look for the helpers. And if you're wondering how you can help, here's some resources for you. There is an organization called Hands on Nashville. They're accepting both monetary donations and volunteer applications. I'll link that below. There are GoFundMes. Make sure you donate to a reputable one. There's one specifically for the Soda Parlor, which is an establishment that did get destroyed as well, which is super sad. One of my favorite places. That is specifically for the workers there, so if that's somewhere near and dear to your heart, feel free to do that. Since they're surveying right now, they're not doing mass cleanup efforts yet, so that's why they're taking volunteer lists. I think it's likely to happen to start Wednesday and go through the weekend for cleanup efforts, so make sure you get yourself on a list to get notified if you're wanting to do any kind of volunteer activity there. Another thing to keep in mind is that a lot of animals probably got displaced during this situation, so if you see any stray animals or wandering cats or dogs around the area, try to corral them best you can, and maybe they can be reunited with their owners, which would be super great. Poor buds. And the Red Cross is also activated here, so if you want to donate through them, that is an option as well. Again, all of those links are going to be below in the description. The other thing I want to touch on in this video is that I am the queen of being prepared, and I wasn't this time. And so if I can just give some tips out and make sure that someone else, at least one other person, is prepared, then I will feel a lot better about my lessons learned in this situation. So the first mistake I made was ushering the family into a room on the second floor. It had an exterior wall and was exposed to the roof. It was the first room we could get to with no windows, and we didn't exactly have a lot of time. When I woke up, it was very loud, but again, it wasn't close enough to cause any damage. So it was just a panic situation. We've now talked it through and have a better room identified, and that's something that you should know way before. So make sure, just like everyone in your house knows, like, this is the room, y'all. That would be great. The other thing I really failed on is there's not a flashlight in this entire house, like not a single flashlight. I don't understand how that happened. I don't know, like a flashlight just seems like something so simple to have. So make sure you have a flashlight, make sure you have batteries. Maybe in the room that you've designated as the shelter space, you put those things in there so they're there for you. Because we were using our phones to be a flashlight and killing our battery in the process. And as we've not had power for coming up on 16 hours, it's a situation where you might need your phone battery for a lot longer, and you shouldn't be using it as a flashlight. Maybe some candles, depending on the safety of your space. Make sure you have a reliable news source. So the reason I check Twitter is I have notifications turned on for a Twitter account called NashSevereRx. I'll put it here on the screen for you. They are fantastic, like micro forecasters specific to Nashville if you live here. An incredible resource. They were more timely and more accurate than any other news source that I saw, and they're completely funded by donations. So I'll put their PayPal and their Patreon in the series of links below if you want to donate to them as well, because literally the picture that they tweeted probably saved us. Like if anything was going to come through our neighborhood, that was the picture that caused me to act, and so I am incredibly grateful for that. But make sure you have a source of news, especially when things are really unpredictable. Like we went to bed thinking this was going to be maybe a thunderstorm, pretty chill, not a big deal. We also expected it later in the morning, so to have that kind of reliable news source was completely invaluable to making us act on time. You're not always going to have cable or power, so like a Twitter with notifications turned on in the event of bad weather or things like that, probably more helpful than a TV channel. One thing that we were completely unprepared for, and again, definitely my fault, is I've never had a power outage this long before, and we are approaching darkness, and I'm gonna have to hang out in my house in the dark. But I'm not by myself. Jeremiah will come home, but we're trying to do what we can with this last little bit of sunlight, because that's it for us. We're very fortunate that we can go out to eat. It's not a luxury for everyone. But make sure you have some kind of dry food on hand or prepackaged food. We have a gas stove, which is great, and we're able to heat water, so I was able to eat instant ramen. So luckily I'm a huge ramen head and was able to enjoy that. But otherwise we would have been down at the Taco Bell a lot. The other thing to think about is water. If for some reason your water source is affected, you'll want some spare water. We didn't have any set aside. Luckily that didn't happen to us, but now I'm thinking about all these what ifs and things that I wasn't prepared for, and that's one of them. The last thing that is new to me that I wanted to share with you, just in case you need to know this information, but because our power has been out for 16 hours, our food in the fridge is like toast at this point. So my understanding is, and of course do your own research, but my understanding is that do not open your fridge door under any circumstance. I did, because I wasn't thinking about it, and I just opened it, and then I was like, why doesn't the light turn on? I'm like, oh right, because our power's out. So I shut the fridge. So do not open your fridge, and that'll allow you to keep all the cool air inside of it, and if you do that, your food in your fridge can stay good for up to 4 hours. Obviously check the temperature when you open it, just in case you don't want to accidentally eat something that's going to make you sick. And then the food in your freezer can stay good up to 48 hours if your fridge is full. If there's nothing in it, it will get warmer faster. So as my recommendation to you would be to like freeze some like ice packs, gallons of water, whatever you need to do to fill it up, and that way A, it takes less energy to keep it cold, and so that'll save you on your electric bill, and B, it will keep your food for up to 48 hours. So right now our fridge is about half full. We are looking at, or the clock is ticking if the power doesn't come back on in the next 8 hours or so, and we'll have to get rid of the food in the freezer as well. So bummer, but luckily we've not been buying a lot of groceries lately, just a couple of meals at a time. So our personal waste is like the last thing I'm worried about right now. So anyway, to circle back, Nashville can really use this time to heal, but we're Nashville strong. I offered to help at one of the American Red Cross shelters, and it turns out that they had so many donations, they were running out of space for them, and so many volunteers that they had all their needs met, but that's just one location in one part of Nashville, and it doesn't look at our long-term needs also. So like I said, Hands on Nashville, both monetary donations, item donations can go through their website as well. They'll tell you where to take them, and you can sign up to do volunteer work as well. So yeah, so I think if you can help, that would be good. Nashville needs you, and if you are in an area that gets severe weather, like please be prepared. Please be more prepared than I was. We got so lucky last night, and it could have been way worse. So thank you guys for watching. Sorry this video is a bummer. I will see, well, I'll upload this as soon as I have power again, but thanks for watching. We'll see you.